The Chitrik Academy is dedicated in loving memory of Rabbi Tzvi Hirsh Chitrik.
Welcome to today's lesson. Today we are going to learn from Ta, which is on the second to last line on Daf Chaf Aleph Amud Beis, until on the next page, until the last one on the line is Gazlan. Over here, it's on the fifth line from the top. We are still in our search, trying to prove who the halacha is like. Is like Abaya or Rava? Is Yush Madas Yush, or is it not considered Yush? Let's see the Gemara. Tashma, come and learn. It says, Haganiv shenatal mizeh. If a thief took from one person, stole from one person, v'nasan lezeh, and gave it to a second person, and the same thing will be, v'chein, gazlan shenatal mizeh, v'nasan lezeh, or a gazlan who took from one person and gave to another person. So we are going to see what the halacha is. Now, what is the difference between a ganiv and a gazlan? Both of them are thieves. However, the difference is that a ganiv is someone who steals quietly. He doesn't steal in the open. He quietly sneaks into a person's house while the person is not aware, while the person is unaware, and he steals from them. That is a ganiv. A gazlan is someone who, in the openly goes and will steal from someone. So if any of these types of thieves steal from one person and give it to another person, now let's turn the page. V'chein Yarden, or if the Jordan River, or any river, Yarden means the Jordan, which refers to Jordan River. So if the water swept up a person's items, shenatal mizeh, took from one person, v'nasal zeh, and gave to another person, the halacha is, ma shenatal, natal, what was taken, uma shenasan, nasan, and what was given is given, which means, if a person's item was stolen from them, or if any river came and took away, washed away someone's items, and someone else has it now, the second person that received it, that has it, gets to keep the items that were stolen or taken from the original owner. Now, the reason why it says Yarden, the Jordan River, is because the people who wrote this, the Gemara, lived near the Jordan River. Now, seemingly from here, the Gemara is going to try to prove that this is a raya to Rava. Bishalema Gazlan v'Yarden. We understand why a Gazlan and a Yarden, if the Jordan River takes a person's things, we understand why the person who receives it may keep it. Why? Because he saw his items being taken away, either stolen or washed away by the river. And right away, the owner gives up of ever receiving them, of it ever being returned. And therefore, whoever receives it now, it's hefker, and he gets to keep it. However, a thief who steals quietly, Mika Chazi, does the owner see him, Demiyayish, and therefore he'll give up on it? What the Gemara is trying to say is that in the case of a Gazlan or of the Yarden, of a river, the owner saw the person taking it, or saw the river washing it away, and therefore, right away he gives up on finding it, and therefore, the person who receives it may keep it. However, in the case of a ganiv, in the case of when it was stolen quietly, the owner was unaware when it was taken that his item has disappeared. And therefore, according to Abaya, who says Yush Olei Madas is not Yush, the person who receives it should not be able to keep it, because it could be the owner is unaware. And as long as the owner is unaware, the person who receives it cannot keep it, because that is Yish Shalei Medas, which according to Abaya is not Yish. So let's return to our Gemara. So this seems to be a proof, according to Rava, the Yish Shalei Medas is Yish, and therefore, even if something was stolen, because the owner will eventually know that it's gone, he gets to keep it. So let's go back to the first page. We're going to make a P over here. This is Gemara's proof that the Gemara is that the halacha is like Rava. Now over here the Gemara is going to reject the proof. So here from the Tirgama, right over here. So let's make a R over here. The Gemara is going to reject the proof that the halacha is like Rava. So Gemara says, Tirgama Rav Papa. Rav Papa explained, he was Targum, he interpreted, he explained that when it says Ganav, it doesn't mean thieves who come quietly. What it meant is that Belistim Mizuyim. It was referring to armed thieves that came to steal from the person even during the day. And therefore, when the person actually saw that he's being robbed, he gave up on finding it. And that is what this Gemara is referring to. However, if a person does not know that he's being robbed, then maybe the Gemara would agree, like according to Rabbi, that is not considered, that it is not Yush. It's not considered Yush. The Gemara is going to ask a question now, so let's put a question mark on this side. The Gemara is going to ask, Ihachi, if it's referring to armed robbers that are stealing during the day, Hainu Gazlan. This is a Gazlan. Why does the Gemara say, let's go back to our previous page, why does the Gemara say a case of a Ganiv and a Gazlan? It seems like two different types of thieves, but over here, if they're both stealing during the day, why are they considered two types? Why does the Gemara repeat itself? So the Gemara answers, let's say A over here. You're right. Tre gavne gazlan. There are two types of thieves. The reason why the Gemara divides it is not to say that the one is quietly and one is during the day. It's just telling us that there are two types of thieves. Thieves that are armed and thieves that are not armed. And this is the end of this lesson. So it's not a proof according to Rava.